Joining us from Columbia, South Carolina, Assistant Democratic Leader, Congressman Jim Clyburn. Congressman, thank you for being on the show this morning. It has got to be, can you describe what it must have felt like to see that video?
Well, thank you so much for having me, Mika. It was very, very disturbing. When I first was shown it by a news reporter, she showed me her handheld device, and I just thought that I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I went home to get it on the computer, and sure enough, it was my worst thought.
There is something maybe that perhaps has been penetrated in terms of the public conversation and maybe even public perceptions of some of these incidents that have happened across the country. And certainly we don't want to convict all cops. There's so many more good ones out there. And this is such a terrible black eye on the police community. Having said that, something is wrong with our culture across the board, because what you see here is a brazen sort of ability to just do something terrible and assume it'll be okay. How can you sort of characterize what you saw going on there, and maybe what can happen from Washington to counter this?
Well, I think you are exactly right. I have been saying for several years now that a certain atmosphere seemed to be created in this country that gives license to this. And all you got to do is look at this, what is it, American Legislative Exchange Council that's been drawing up all of these pieces of legislation, mailing them out to legislatures all over the country. Stand your ground. That's nothing but a law for vigilante activity. We've seen these new voter suppression laws. They may call it voter ID, but it's not about IDing voters. It's about suppressing voters. The leader of the Pennsylvania legislature told us as much when they passed their law up there. We see these redistricting laws where we are stacking African Americans in one district and bleaching out districts all around it. These things tend to ghettoize the political process. They tend to give license to people to do vigilante things. And if you've got police officers managing that sort of thing, some of them will take license from that to do things that they're doing. So, no, we shouldn't use a broad brush in all of this, because most police officers are just outstanding citizens.
You're right.
But when we have a bad apple, we ought to get rid of it.